But as I have always held, India has never needed a full-scale war or conflict for its heroes to step up. In a country that faces threats from across the spectrum, the demand for courage and gallantry remains high. History is rife with acts of courage and valor by the three services. Air power and employment of the Air Force is frequently seen as an indisputable act of hostility in a conflict. The nature of military aviation and the many other roles of the Indian Air Force mean that our men and women are uninterruptedly in difficult and demanding lines of duty. From a fighter cockpit that's on fire to a transport plane headed to a dangerously small airfield high up on a mountain, from daring helicopter rescues during floods to the extensive ground operations that occupy thousands of our ranks, it does not stop. In India's most fearless, too, you will gain insight into the story of an air warrior, among others, in a role that you would not normally associate with the Indian Air Force as you know it: anti-terror operations. The other accounts, equally, must occupy us with questions not only about the will to survive and the skill of our three services, but also about what it takes to make peace with one's own likely demise, if in the bargain many more lives are saved. My compliments to the authors for the sequel, for very aptly highlighting the valor of our heroes once again. Jai Hind. Air Chief Marshal B.S. Dhanoa, PVSM, AVSM, YSM, VM, ADC, Chief of the Air Staff. The wide readership of the first book, India's Most Fearless, has been a source of great satisfaction to the Army fraternity. The book undoubtedly brings to light the bravery against all odds of a few of the heroes of Indian Army, amongst many such stories of unparalleled guts, glory, and courage. The book and its popularity is an affirmation that despite many distractions in our modern and hyper-connected society, millions are still interested in the stories of our men and women in uniform. The soldiers keep themselves professionally abreast and ensure that they are available for the call of duty at all times to uphold the sovereignty and integrity of our great nation. Our men and women in uniform have never let the nation down in the highest traditions of the armed forces. After having seen the entire spectrum of challenges in which Indian Army soldiers operate, I can say with conviction that we will continue to put the nation first, always and every time. We are grateful to the citizens of our nation who continue to acknowledge the bravery and sacrifice of our men and women in uniform in any manner they can, through messages, cards, letters, social media, or even standing ovations at public places. We are sanguine of the continued support of our countrymen in the times to come. Compliments to the authors for having continued with the sequel to highlight the actions of our heroes. Jai Hind. General Bipin Rawat, PVSM, UISM, AVSM, YSM, SM, VSM, ADC, Chief of the Army Staff. Prologue. Just after 3:30 a.m. on 26 February 2019, climbing abruptly to 27,000 feet in dark airspace over Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, POK, an Indian Air Force, IAF, pilot flying in a single-seat Mirage 2000 fighter jet pushed a button on his flight stick. A few feet below him, from the rumbling belly of his aircraft, an Israeli-made bomb silently detached itself and dropped away to begin a journey, first gliding and then careening towards a target over 70 kilometers away. The bomb, fed with satellite coordinates and an onboard guidance chip, had all the information it needed to hurtle to its destination. The Mirage 2000 was far from home. It had taken off from the Gwalior Air Force Base over 1,000 kilometers away earlier that night, along with at least 6 more Mirage jets from the 3 squadrons based there. Over the hour, the jets flew over central India and into the northern sector. Following in their wake, 5 more Mirage 2000 jets took off in the darkness from an airbase.